All right, so we had our Christmas Day games. Let's start off with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chiefs beat the Steelers 29-10. So the Chiefs clinch the number one seed. They get home field throughout the playoffs. The defending back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Again, it's been a strange year for the Chiefs. They haven't had that knockout game, but hey, it doesn't matter. Their record is currently 15-1. Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, delivering on the Mahomes magic, particularly in this game against the Steelers. He threw 3 touchdown passes. Travis Kelce, 8 catches for 84 yards, and he had a touchdown. And Travis Kelce has played at a high level in these last several games. You got to remember, people were wondering during the early and the middle part of the year, where's Travis Kelce? Where's Travis Kelce? Where has he been? Well, guess what? The last several games, almost up to the last month and a half, Travis Kelce has stepped up his game, and the Chiefs are getting hot at the right time. Defensively, Kansas City has been balling all year long. Chris Jones did not play in this game, but guess what? This is going to give him more time to rest up. I don't think Chris is going to play in the finale, the regular season finale against the Denver Broncos. That game is going to be at Denver. Most likely Mahomes, Kelce, and company, they're all going to rest because they've clinched the number one seed and they've got home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But Kansas City, again, they handled their business, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-10. In the losing effort, Russell Wilson completed 23 out of 37 passes for 205 yards. He had an interception and he had a rushing touchdown. So a lot of blame games been going around in Pittsburgh lately, particularly on the defensive side. Deshaun Elliott had some comments he made post-game. Cam Hayward, he had some issues as well. So we'll see how this all plays out. What we know is that Pittsburgh has clinched a playoff berth. The question is, where will they be playing? Will they possibly play against the Houston Texans in a wild card matchup, or will they possibly play maybe the Buffalo Bills? We'll have to find out. But the Steelers, hopefully they can get it done and get a win in the regular season finale in Week 18 and move on to the playoffs, and we'll find out who they'll be playing real soon. But again, Kansas City handled their business, beating the Steelers 29-10. And then our other Christmas Day game was the Baltimore Ravens beating the Houston Texans. You talk about a total domination. It was domination on top of that. Baltimore beat Houston 31-2. That's right, 31-2. Lamar Jackson, MVP candidate, completed 10 out of 15 passes for 168 yards. And he had 2 touchdown passes to go along with 4 carries for 87 yards and a rushing touchdown. Derrick Henry, what's not to like about Derrick Henry, right? AKA King Henry, 27 carries for 147 yards and a rushing touchdown. So I mentioned earlier about Lamar Jackson being an MVP candidate. He's a 2-time league MVP. Hey, he's continuing to make his case on why he should be MVP once again this year. Lamar broke a record in the game against the Texans where he passed Michael Vick as the quarterback with the setting the record for the most career rushing yards by a quarterback in NFL history. And as I stated earlier, he passed Michael Vick. So Michael Vick previously had over 5,800, I believe it was over 5,800 career rushing yards. Lamar currently has over 6,000. So Lamar Jackson, when he first came into the league, they said the athletic ability is there, but can he play quarterback? Can he become that complete NFL quarterback? Well, the last 2 years, he has done that and then some. Lamar, the league's leading passer. I mean, listen, when we talk about Baltimore Ravens for decades, has always been running game and defense. The last several years, that focus has shifted to offense. And not only are we seeing it with Lamar Jackson, but with the addition of Derrick Henry. And man, Baltimore is going to cause some problems whoever they play in the wild card game. Could it be Pittsburgh again? Will it be Denver? Will it be Will it be the Chargers? Or better yet, could it be Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals? We'll have to find out. But right now, man, Baltimore dominated the Houston Texans on Christmas Day, 31-2. And then Thursday night football, we had the Seattle Seahawks going up against the Chicago Bears. I mean, this was a defensive game. If you're a fan of defense, you would have loved this. Seahawks won 6-3. So Seattle escapes the Windy City with a victory. If depending on what the Rams do, if the Rams beat the Cardinals, then we could have a situation where in week 18, Seahawks versus the Rams, the winner wins the NFC West. The loser, well, they'll be prepared for a vacation to the Bahamas or maybe Cabo San Lucas. But Seattle, they want, Seattle's defense, they put a muzzle on Caleb Williams and that Bears offense. Caleb, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting offseason for the Bears, what they decide to do in terms of protecting their future franchise quarterback and Caleb Williams. The head coaching situation is going to be interesting. Thomas Brown most likely will not be back. There's some candidates out there like Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll. Recently, there was a report that Pete Carroll has some strong interest in the Bears coaching position. I think that would be a great addition for the Chicago Bears. You know about Pete's history with young quarterbacks, especially with Russell Wilson during his time in Seattle. So that should be an interesting hire. I would like Pete Carroll to be the head coach of the Chicago Bears. But Thursday night football was Seattle beating Chicago 6-3. And some other news to pass along to you. So recently, in terms of head coaching gigs, Mike Vick, the new head coach at Norfolk State University, well, now former NFL wide receiver, one of Michael's former teammates, Deshaun Jackson, becomes the new head football coach at Delaware State University. So if you know about Deshaun's time in the NFL as a wide receiver, you talk about one of the fastest guys to ever play in the league. Great seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. Then he had a couple of good seasons in Washington. Then he played in Tampa Bay. Then returning to the Eagles for a season. And then after that, playing for the Rams, Raiders, and the Ravens. So again, congratulations to Deshaun Jackson on becoming the new head coach at Delaware State University. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.